What's going on, everybody? Look, I suck at introductions. It's your boy Scales, but let's get right into it. A Thunder win last night. Thunder capture game 5 at the Paycom Center, and we up. I want to, before I even get into anything with the recap, I just want to say thank you to Sam Presti, the Oklahoma City Thunder roster from top to bottom, SGA, Chet, Jalen, Lou, Alex Caruso, Case and Wallace, all of them. Just want to say thank you because you are part of the reason why I'm back into what I feel is what I should be doing is talking, entertaining, commenting on what's around me. And it's hard to do in like a season like 2020 and 2021 where we had some guys playing for us that I don't even think are on NBA rosters right now, where I think Gallinari was probably our best player. So coming from being a fan of this team since Durant was drafted, so somewhat of a Sonics fan briefly, and then now being a two-time fans of a two-time, I didn't win anything, fans of a two-time Western Conference Finals champion, and this time feeling like we actually have a legitimate chance to win the title. We did also, uh, against the Heat. We feel like we had it against the Warriors, but for some reason, it just feels like the Knicks or the Pacers, we don't have a proven legend that we're going up against that we need to really be extremely cautious of. I'm going to give respect to Halliburton and that entire squad, but they're not giving any real fear as if this was a Steph Curry or a LeBron or a KD or a Giannis or even Tatum and Jalen Brown. I think there were a couple teams out of that East that I was like, man, if we get them, it'll be a tougher matchup, but I still think we can take it. The hardest part was getting to where we're at right now, which is in the Western Conference Finals. Before I get into the recap, I just wanted to say thank you to the Thunder organization as a whole for what I consider a very fast rebuild. We were a contending team, felt like from 2009 all the way up until Dame Lillard shot against Paul George, which still haunts me to this day. But if you are a fan of the Thunder, you had to go through Durant leaving. You had to leave. You had to go through Harden getting traded. You had to go through Russ leaving. You had to go through Paul George leaving. You had to go through the Dame shot. You had to go through being up 3-1 and losing 4-3. You had to go through a preposterous 2 years of non-factor players and just letting the process work. And if you are a Thunder fan and have been a Thunder fan, today is a day to celebrate. So I wanted to make sure that that was communicated. For any new fans, old fans, whatever, I accept you all. I'm just glad that we're here today. On to the recap because we had some money won last night. Um, we took a couple good bets. We'll start with the Thunder because that's the majority of where my money went to last night. Jalen Williams, his over under was 21. Called that at 19, so we hit on that portion there. Shea had points, assists, and rebounds over at 46. I missed that one. So I missed that one. It came in at 49 all in. So 34, 7, and 8. An excellent night by the MVP. Only 4 free throw attempts. So how's that for a free throw merchant? I took the Thunder to win by 8.5. Great bet. That line got upwards to, I think, live bet 22 or 23, somewhere in there by the second half or somewhere close in the third quarter. So that was a good bet for us to lock in as well. And I believe we took the under yesterday for 220.5 or 221. Fell underneath that too. So we were in a good spot overall with our bets. Oh, Caruso. Caruso had 10 points and he had the opportunity. He was 0 for 3 from 3. If he had just hit one of them, we were in the clear. So overall, we hit on Jalen Williams. We hit on the over under. We hit on the spread. We did not hit on SGA. I think his points were, I forgot what his points were. I know his total points, rebounds, and assists was 46 and a half. So we didn't get that. He went well over that actually. Um, so yeah, ultimately not bad for the betting side of it. Now let's get into the fandom side of it. Actually, nope. I had one more. Yep. I also had Anthony Edwards. Same thing. He had 34 and a half for his points, rebounds, and assists. Under that one, under for his points total, I think was 24 and a half. We had him at going under for that one for 19. So overall, a couple good hits. Bad miss on SGA, bad miss on Caruso. That's just one of those things that happen. But overall, not a bad night. Now, again, into the fandom of it, um, we're here. And going back to something I just said earlier that kind of got me distracted. I I I got called out, and I'm gonna go down to the tweet. So this was from Game 7. This tweet here. This one was from Game 7, where I just did. Hey, in Shea we trust. Why is this not showing it? I don't want to promote that. So I had this tweet up for Game 7, and all I said was this was before the game. If you look at the time it was tweeted, I think it was like 2 minutes before the game had started. I said, in Shea we trust, big game from Jalen Williams, double double from Chet, Thunder in 7, Thunder up. Why from this tweet I started getting so much hate about, oh, you not even a real fan. You're not a real fan. Where did you come from? I never seen you before. I was over here like, what in the world? So I had to go back and click through because 2013, OKC all on the page. I'm impressed with how Westbrook is playing, final score, doing live tweets, some head ass stuff. I mean, we going back to 2011. We going back to 2012. And I don't even think I was on Twitter until like 2010 or something like that. So that's not even counting some of the years prior. All said, I am a true fan of the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I mentioned some of those things before where I'm still hurt by the Dame shot. Durant leaving a 3-1 lead to go to the team that beat us. Getting rid of Harden, watching Russ go, Oladipo, Rashard Lewis getting traded. I mean, there's so many things that happen to get to this point, and I'm just thankful that I get a chance to watch one of the greatest seasons in Thunder history. And one of the things I'm talking about here, I know this is supposed to be a game recap, but it just brings up so many different conversations that are starting to happen. One of those is Shea versus Kevin Durant. And I don't have it up on my screen. I'm just kind of going off memory here, and I could while the screen's recording, but I'd rather not do that to y'all. Shea versus Durant specifically for their tenure as Oklahoma City Thunder players. Both of them MVPs. Both of them made it to the finals. Now we have to kind of see what the differences were. Both of them won scoring titles while they were with the Thunder. Both of them had an incredible mid range. The only difference now is something that Durant didn't have, but we would probably agree that he would be the Western Conference Finals most valuable player. So we'll give that to him as just an even digit. If Shea goes on to win the finals in any capacity, whether it's 4 games, 5, 6, or 7, If it's a tightly contested series, I think it goes. I think it gives it a little bit more credence. But Shea would be the leader of a team that won 68 games in the regular season. That would be the fourth team only to have 80 games won postseason and in the regular season before getting into the NBA Finals. Shea would be the unequivocal leader of that team. If he wins the NBA Finals, the question is, does that put him ahead of Kevin Durant in terms of overall legacy for the Oklahoma City Thunder? Now, there's really only I was going to say four, but there's really three players that you would have that are in this conversation for best Thunder player all time. It's Russ, Kevin Durant, and Shea. I'm taking Russ out of it because Russ has an argument, obviously, to get into the number one spot. He also was an MVP. He averaged a triple double in the year he did it. One of the only players to have done it since Oscar Robinson at that time. So he has an argument for it as well. But the argument was specifically for Kevin Durant. I am of the school of thought that for the time as a member of the Oklahoma City Thunder, because he did it in a shorter amount of time, because he perfected his game year over year from coming from the Clippers. I know he was drafted somewhere else before that, but I can't remember where. But I know we got him from the Clippers trade with Paul George. From that moment on to now, him being the MVP, him being the best player on this team, him getting 68 wins, him having 80 before the finals, him going into the finals. And if for some reason this ends in 5 games or even 4, which I doubt that'll happen, whether it's the Knicks or the Pacers, I doubt it's a sweep. Everybody's assuming Pacers now because the Pacers are they're up 3-1 and they play tonight. So everybody's assuming it's going to be the Pacers. And I think it's going to be the Pacers too. I don't see the Knicks having an incredible comeback. Will be shocking if they do. But if out of those 6 games, I don't want it to go 6. I'm going to say 5. I think Oklahoma City wins it at home. Out of those 5 games, if 2 of them are blowouts of 30 points or more, that would put them in the conversation as one of the greatest NBA teams ever. So, with that, Shea would be the leader of that team. That would put Shea above Kevin Durant, in my opinion. So, I say Shea, if he wins the title, is the greatest Thunder player in the history of the organization. Kevin Durant is 2. And then number 3 would be Russ. Then you start to kind of tear off from there. You can go Harden, and that's really the 4. So ultimately, great game last night. I think great game yesterday. I thought it would be a lot more of a fight from the Timberwolves because it's game 5, and I don't remember the score. Again, going from memory, they scored 9 points in the first quarter. I have it in front of me. 9 points in the first quarter, and Edwards led the team with 6. Julius Randle started the game with a 3-pointer, and there were a couple turnovers that we had in that first quarter, which felt like if they had taken advantage, they could have given us a long night. I mean, that was scary to me. That 20 shot attempts, and how many turnovers did we have? We only had 2 turnovers. It felt like we had a lot more than that. But we had a lot of missed shots also early in the beginning of that quarter where they could have went on a really big run after Julius Randle's 3, which was the first possession. I think Mike Breen even said the crowd didn't sit down until 2 minutes because, hey, no one sits until they score. So there was a moment where it could have went to a very easy 8-0, 9-0 run and stop us in our tracks. But we kept playing, we kept going, and started making some shots. And then Shea got 12 in the first. Shea got 12 in the first quarter, 26-9. Once I saw that, felt like it was kind of over. And I said it yesterday. I took the spread at 8.5 because I didn't believe that it was going to be a massive blowout. I did think it was going to be somewhere around 9 to 10 points if we were going to beat them, and it was going to feel similar to that game 4 where it didn't really feel like we would get away from them. It just kind of felt like, hey, we're in control of the game. We'll go back and forth on a couple shots, but they just looked like they kind of gave up. I mean, the defense was getting at them. We never stopped swarming the ball. We never stopped getting them. We outscored them again, 39-23 in the second, and in the third quarter, I mean, it was all over at that point. They started to get a little bit of comeback in the third quarter, but Richard Jefferson called it perfectly. Hey, Minnesota fans, you got about 2 more minutes of this before this is over with. And I think he said time of death 9:42 Central Standard Time. So great win, 30-point barrage, excellent defense. Everyone on the team was excellent defensively. Shea showed why he's the MVP once again, and now everybody's starting to say, "Hey, well, I think this is a NBA championship for the Thunder." I don't want to get there yet, but I'm thinking that's what is possible here. I'm working my schedule around to try to get to game 1 and 2. Don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, but I'm going to at least get to one of those games at Paycom because I'm really excited to see that. I ordered. This feels so great, guys, being on a winning side of a championship because I'm really excited. I started buying NBA Finals hats, which I've never had a chance to do because I haven't. The last time any team that I liked won a championship, it was 2006 for the Colts. Then it was 2009 again for the Colts when the Saints won that year. I forgot the exact year. But I was a broke little kid then. I couldn't get what I wanted. And then in 2012, when we made the finals and played the Heat. So those were the closest 3 times I've had. And man, that just, I should have a story about that. But my worst offseason as a sports fan, as a Oklahoma City Thunder fan, as a Colts fan, the same year that I think we lost, the same year we traded away Paul George, and I think we also got rid of Russ in that same offseason. Andrew Luck had retired. And I think that all happened within like a 3 week span, and I wanted to just give up on sports completely. But we're still here. Overall, solid win. Looking forward to seeing who wins tonight. Between the Knicks and the Pacers. Really big win, really huge win from Oklahoma City. Looking forward to see who we play next. It's leaning towards Indiana. Sad to see inside the NBA on TNT. Hopefully this isn't the last game, but this might be it. They're in New York tonight, so this is going to be a good one. Excited to see that game. We got a week before any first game action, so next Thursday is game 1 of the finals. Hope the guys are well rested and ready to go. Excited to see how fast we can get this finished. I have them going to beat whatever team comes to the Eastern Conference in 5. I think we win games 1 and 2 at Paycom, go split on the road, and then come back to Paycom for game 5, kind of similar to what we did with the Minnesota series. So a lot of content coming to y'all. A lot of content coming for y'all for here. Sports, fragrances, music. We got a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be coming to y'all for the rest of this year and beyond. So if you like any of the content that you see coming in, like, comment, subscribe. That'll help the channel grow. I greatly appreciate all the Thunder fans out there and anybody else that's watching that's just a fan of basketball. Thank you so much for commenting, liking, subscribing on the videos. Again, this is Scale Speaks. Greatly appreciate all the support out there, and we will come back See if I can get a game reaction tonight for the Knicks and the Pacers because I want to chop it up a little bit different. I don't want to just keep talking about the same team. So we'll see if we can get a reaction onto that for the page for tonight, and then also talk about a couple different previews that we have for the games coming in for Oklahoma City and whoever wins the Eastern Conference Finals. So again, appreciate the listen, appreciate the time. We'll talk to y'all soon. Until next time, peace.